He pressed his hand against my breast with so much force that it turned into one big blue bruise for the next 2 weeks.
Call me racist if you need to, bro. I'm not fucking with blues either, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would never smash a Smurf even if they were human size. Allergic to skin, my horrible life.
Hey, I'm Christine, and my classmates have always been scared of me.
I would be too.
It's not because I'm a bully,
You have
but
green eyes.
it's because of my skin disease. My body parts are often swollen and covered in bruises.
Damn.
That's why many kids called me the Blue Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I'm not Notre Dame. Am I tweaking?
The only person who defended me was Paul. He didn't mind how I looked, and that's why he asked me to become his girlfriend. Of course I said yes.
Look at
But
Paul.
there was one problem. His parents. When they saw my skin all swollen and blue, they thought I was a freak and asked, "What's wrong with you?" I said I have a skin disease called chronic idiopathic hives, and whenever someone or something touches me, I'll have an allergic-like reaction to it.
Oh, so that means y'all can't even reproduce cause he gonna be trying to bang and then your clit is gonna turn purple. And me personally, I'm not banging purple clit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not one of the colors that, call me racist. That's just not one of the colors I can see as attractive. And I'm fine with the racist title if that's the case, but.
But don't worry, it's not contagious. His mom responded, "My son won't date a freak like you. He deserves a pretty girl that won't embarrass him in public."
Damn!
Her words hit me like a slap in the face. But Paul came to my defense and screamed, "Mom, you're so fat. Why don't you care about your own problems first?" When we got into Paul's room,
So
he
nasty.
said, "I don't care about my parents' opinion. I love you, and that's all that matters."
Aww.
And of course, I loved Paul back. But the next time his mom saw me, she asked, "If you have kids, will they look as monstrous as you?" Then she put her finger on my forehead and pushed me back. A few minutes later, I was left with a small bruise that stayed for several days.
Damn!
Of course, I was too scared to go back to Paul's home. Instead, we started seeing each other inside a forest next to our school. There we had
Monkeys?
total privacy and could do whatever we wanted.
These niggas are for real monkeys, bro. Speaking of monkeys.
We often kissed so much that my lips turned blue. And one time, he pressed his hand against my breast with so much force that it turned into one big blue bruise for the next 2 weeks.
Call me racist if you need to, bro. I'm not fucking with blues either, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would never smash a Smurf even if they were human size.
We were as happy as one could be, until Paul told me that his parents were sending him away to live with his aunt in a different state.
That's
My
tragic.
heart broke into a million pieces. I've been so sure we would stay together forever, but that was just a teenage dream. Paul said, "You know I love you. I always will. But it's not worth it. My parents make my life hell because I'm dating you. It's better if we
Damn.
just break up." I responded, "It's okay, and I hope you will be happy in your new life." I tried to not look sad because I didn't want to make it harder for him. But after he said goodbye, I sat
Man,
down
oh
under
man.
a tree and cried late into the night.
I remember
I
that
knew
happened to
if it
me in
wasn't for
third
my skin
grade.
disease, Paul and I would have stayed a couple. But life isn't always fair. And after Paul...
I'm not gonna lie, right? I think you just picked the wrong customizations when you were like being birthed. You know what I'm saying? You probably hit the randomized customization, which caused you to have all these unfortunate events. I made sure I carefully plotted every single trait I got when I was coming out the womb. You know what I'm saying? In the 9 months I was developing, I was doing research to make sure I chose the proper traits before I left. You didn't do that. So that is kind of your fault.
Paul and I would have stayed a couple. But life isn't always fair. And after Paul was gone, the other kids in school started making fun of me again. I was so happy when I finally graduated. I wanted to
Yes,
start
bitch.
all over, and that's why I moved to New York. There I studied economics for 3 years and even dated a new guy. But
Aw.
whenever my skin had a strong allergic reaction, I could see the disgust in his face. One night we slept next to each other, and while I was sleeping, he wrote his name into my skin with his fingernail. It wasn't long before it was swollen so much that I woke up. I wanted to scream when I looked into a
Damn.
mirror and saw what he'd done. He thought it was funny, but I didn't. So I broke up with him and tried to focus more on college.
Oh, we would have had to break up too, because I thought that was kind of funny. That would have made me giggle.
But studying was never easy. Some days my body was completely covered in hives, bruises, and swellings. They were
Damn.
itching so much that all I could do was lie in bed and cry. I barely graduated, but still managed to get a job at an investment bank. It paid $40,000 a year, which
Okay.
wasn't much. but barely enough for New York.
Oh
Unfortunately,
yeah,
my
New
skin
York?
disease got
Yeah, that's
so bad
pennies. That's pennies in New York.
I couldn't go to work anymore and got fired. That was the darkest moment of my life. My skin was hurting like hell, and I'd lost my job. I was about to give up on life, so instead of finding a new job, I moved into a homeless shelter.
Golly.
All I did was lie in bed, depressed and scratching my skin. Finally, I wondered,
where are your parents
is there
at?
anything I want to do before I die? The answer was yes. I wanted to see Paul one last time. I wanted to see if he was happy. So I tracked him down and found out that he was working for a consultancy firm in Washington.
Tracked him down?
Then I took a bus and went to surprise him.
You have so many other priorities you're not paying attention to. My nigga, you homeless. No job. And you're over here trying to find whatever this guy's name is, Paul. What?
Of course, I was nervous about meeting him again. He'd done well in life, but I'd failed at everything. I was afraid of his judgment, but I was also desperate to see him again.
Why?
So I waited in front of his office building. When he came out and saw me, he cried, "Oh my God, Christine! It's so nice to see you. How are you doing?" I said, "I'm good. I just wanted to catch up with an old friend." He said, "Sure." And we went to a restaurant.
So he's not gonna ask on how you found me? I'm 100% asking, what the hell are you doing at my job? How did you know I work here? I haven't texted you in 6 years.
There he told me about his job and how he had to work 80 hours a week.
80?
But when he asked me how I was doing, I blushed and looked away. He said, "Come on, I'm your friend. You can tell me anything." So I told him how I got fired and lived in a homeless shelter because of my skin condition. I even told him I was depressed and rarely got out of bed. He said, "I'm really sorry. I'd let you live at my place, but I have a girlfriend and she wouldn't like it."
You haven't seen him in years. You cannot be in shock that he has a girlfriend. But if someone came up to me that I used to talk to out of nowhere and then they talking about they tragic story in life, bro, I'm not trying to talk to you. You just want me for money. That's all I'm thinking. I don't care if you came out of here for goodwill. I'm not believing that.
My heart dropped, but I played it cool and said, "No problem. I'll just move back in with my parents." When we said goodbye to each other, I had tears in my eyes. It was so nice to see Paul again. I still loved him as much as the day we broke up.
Aww.
In another life, we would have gotten married and lived happily ever after.
Cap.
But that wasn't my destiny. I ended up moving back into my mom's home. Her and Dad had just gotten divorced.
Damn!
And she was happy to have some company. But just a few days later, I got a message from Paul that said, "Hey Christine, when I saw you last week, all my feelings for you came back. I can't stop thinking about you. I just broke up with my girlfriend, and I'd love you to come back to Washington.
Sure, buddy.
You can move in here right now." Wow, my head spun around. It felt like a gift from God. A little hope in a hopeless life. I immediately drove back to Washington, and when I saw Paul, we gently fell into each other's arms, kissing passionately for ages. It felt like we were teenagers again.
Hell
making out
nah,
in the forest
bro.
while we hid from his parents. Life was good again. I felt motivated and found another job. But my chronic idiopathic hives flared up again, and the pain kept me awake at night, so I barely ever got any sleep. When I got fired from my job again, I felt so ashamed. But Paul said, "Don't worry, it's not your fault."
It must suck to have a disease that really interferes with everyday life, bro. Like, I know that is tragic. Just like something you can't reduce, you can't control. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine.
And I'm making enough money to take care of both of us. Well, that was our life for the next 2 years. I stayed at home doing nothing, while Paul worked long hours. But then I got pregnant and everything changed.
Damn.
At first, Paul was super happy and
Aw,
screamed,
he's such a
"We're going
good
to be
guy.
parents. This is the best day ever."
Such a good
I
guy.
wasn't sure. I felt like Paul deserved someone better than me. Even though he seemed happy, I felt I was holding him back.
So why the hell are you still here if you feel that way, nigga? Leave. I'm not trying to hear that guilt BS, bro. Go, shoot. Like, you don't really feel like that or you would have left already. Insecure for no reason.
And the next day, Paul went on his knees in front of me and got out an engagement ring. He said, "Christine, will you marry me?" I started crying and said, "I can't. You deserve someone better than me.
Are you a fucking idiot? What?
Oh, dumb bitch.
I'm a mess." He responded, "I don't care. I love you and I don't want any other girl. So in the end, I agreed and said, yes, I want to marry you.
That would have been a red flag number 1. I would have dipped. Oh, that's how you feel? Okay, bet. I'll take it back. I can get a full refund, trust me.
But then came the hard part. We had to tell his parents about our engagement.
Aww.
He called them up and said, hey, you remember the girl I was dating in high school? His mom responded, the freak with the skin problems? Paul said, yeah, I just wanted to tell you that we're engaged now. His mom was quiet for a few seconds, but then she started crying and screamed, no, you deserve better than her.
In tears is crazy.
Wow, she really hated me.
In tears is insane.
But Paul still arranged a dinner for us and his parents. Maybe we could work things out. His parents still didn't know I was pregnant. We wanted to tell them over dinner. But before we could say anything, his mom said, I have a surprise for you, Paul. And then a really gorgeous girl sat down at our table.
That is nasty as fuck. And I love it. Oh my God. Oh, that's next level petty. Oh, my parents would not come to my wedding after that one, but it's so nasty. I love it.
Paul's mom said, this is Georgina. I want to ask her something. Georgina, do you think my son Paul is attractive? Georgina responded, yes. Then his mom asked,
where did you get this woman from?
And she said, yes, I would love to date him.
Where the hell did this woman even come from, bro?
Cheeks. Georgina was so beautiful, I felt unworthy compared to her. But Paul got annoyed and asked Georgina to leave. Then he turned to his mom and said, you are absolutely disgusting. Instead of welcoming my fiancé into our family, you're hurting her.
Okay,
How dare
Paul!
you? She's pregnant. You're going to be a grandmother.
Okay, Paul!
That's when his mom turned to me and screamed, what have you done to my boy? Your child will be a monster just like you.
Right here, I promise you, I'm a woman. I'll let you know right now. I'm moving the food out the way, bro, and I'm spreading my lips. I'm putting it on her face. I'm like, say hi to your grandson, bitch. Like, oh!
But Paul had enough. He said, don't worry. You will never meet your grandchild. And this is also the last time you will see me.
Damn!
He stormed out and I followed him. When we got home, I told Paul how sorry I was. I said, I'm causing so much trouble in your life. This is your last chance to leave me. If you want another girl, just tell me. I will understand.
Yappity yap.
I love you, and I will always love you. Then he gave me a soft kiss on my lips.
Oh.
Of course, that's what every girl wants to hear. But we soon learned that love isn't always enough. Because after I gave birth to our daughter, Olivia, the problem started. I was supposed to take care of her. But due to my depression, I couldn't get out of bed.
Postpartum depression, I get it, but damn, you gotta fight it right now. What the hell?
So when I heard Olivia crying from another room, I didn't go check for her. Paul didn't realize how terrible of a mother I was, until one day, he came home from work and found our baby screaming on the ground with marks all over her face. She probably fell down the stairs, and this was the first time I'd seen Paul angry at me.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my God. The mom was right. The mom had no reason to be right. The mom didn't know, but she was right. Are you serious, bro?
He screamed, you are a terrible mother. And of course, he was right. But I was so depressed. I didn't even respond to him. Right now, all I do is watch YouTube and hope that my skin condition will get better someday. The pain is unbearable and ruining my life.
What about the baby? Fuck your pain. Fuck your condition. What about the kid?
Take the baby.
I saw everything.
My mom always struggled with death. She had a weak immune system and often got so sick that I had to help her to the toilet.
I think we
and wash
all
her body.
struggle with death. Death isn't something we just beat. Okay.
Basically her nurse, while my dad always got home late, saying he was working long hours to put food on the table. But I knew he was lying. Back when I was a child,
How did you know?
He often took me to his friend, who also had kids.
That's your friend? Yo, your friend looked mighty lovely for her age. She looked mighty lovely. I wanna... Can I be her friend too?
They sat us in front of the TV while Dad and the woman went to another room and locked the door. Of course I was curious and sometimes listened at the door, but back then I was too young to understand that my dad was cheating on my mom. But now I was older, so...
I'm not gonna ignore the unnecessary bounces that she got from clenching her fists.
Once my mom had recovered, I finally told her, I know Dad is cheating on you. You
Damn.
have to dump him and find someone better. Don't worry, he just goes drinking with his friends after work.
Mom.
No, he's not.
I heard them. I'll record next time if that's what you want.
Instead of taking care of you, he prefers sleeping with other women. Doesn't that bother you? Well, my mom was in denial. I guess she loved Dad too much. But maybe I could open her eyes if I showed her evidence of his unfaithfulness. It wasn't too hard. All I had to do was stand behind him and watch the pattern he used to unlock his phone. At night, I crawled on my knees to his nightstand, took the phone, rolled under the bed, and checked his messages.
That's so unnecessary.
Turns out my dad is a huge creep. He had a group chat with his buddies where they took photos of random women on the street so they could rate them on a scale from 1 to 10.
That's fucking crazy. No, that's crazy as hell.
It was so disgusting. But then I hit the jackpot. Just 1 hour ago, he had received an SMS saying, "See you again tomorrow, my bad boy. Heart, heart, heart." Then I waited for breakfast and told Mom. I went through Dad's phone last night and found a woman sending him messages. Liar. No one believes you. Oh, really? Why don't you show Mom some of your SMS? My dad didn't hesitate, and I realized that he had already deleted the message.
Okay.
I felt like an idiot.
Wait, you didn't take a picture of it on your phone?
Bitch, are you dumb?
You are an idiot. Or you could have screenshotted it and sent it to your mom. Okay. There are so many things you could have done, but you're just dumb.
And of course my mom didn't believe me without evidence. But now my dad was seriously angry. You should feel ashamed of yourself, spreading lies just to get attention. I don't care what you think. You aren't my dad anymore. I hope you die.
Damn.
That's when he took my laptop and broke it in half. He wanted to scare me, but it didn't work. He was cheating on my mom, and there was no excuse for that.
Okay.
So the next morning, I pretended to go to school early, but actually hid in the back of my dad's car. First, he drove to work like always. There, I had to lie in the freezing cold for 8 hours before he finally drove somewhere else.
What? Okay. You know there's like emergency ways to open the trunk, so you could have technically got out, you know, got something to eat, got something to drink, and then like came back or something, you know, or you could have snuck some snacks back there and then used the bathroom real quick, come back. Okay.
He left the car and I took a look outside. Dad was going into a house I'd never seen before. Soon after I followed him, there was only one window with the lights on. When I looked through, I saw Dad sitting on a chair. Then a woman came inside wearing a short dress and sat down on his lap.
She looked kind of young too. Dad getting his pedo action on? I'm gonna assume she's like 21.
The woman was at least 15 years younger than him.
Okay.
It was gross. And when they started kissing, I started a video chat with my mom. She said, "Where are you? I've been so worried." "Mom, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you something." "What happened? Tell me." "I'm fine." But I followed Dad and caught him with another woman.
Can you just show her? Like, you fucking talk too much, bro.
"Oh, don't worry. Just come home and we will talk about it." "Okay, but first I want to show it to you." I held the camera to the window and filmed my dad betraying Mom.
Thank you, finally.
She kept watching it for another 30 minutes and so
Why were y'all watching it for 30 minutes? I feel like that's a whole nother discussion. Y'all kept watching for 30 minutes? I think your mom might be in there. She might be doing a little DJ work if she been watching it for 30 minutes. But hey, that's neither here or there, I guess.
Afterward, I went home and saw Mom putting Dad's stuff into boxes.
Now, how did you get home? Uber? I'm assuming Uber.
When he opened the door, Mom told him, "It's over, you pig." But Dad didn't argue. He took his stuff and left, probably going back to the younger
That's
woman.
fucking crazy.
I
He
thought
was
things
ready
would
to
get better
go.
afterward, but life became even more miserable. We barely had any money, and Mom got sick again.
Y'all didn't get a
We were about to be
divorce?
evicted from our house when Mom told me, "Call your dad. He might come back and help us."
Y'all didn't get a divorce or something? Take some of that nigga's money. What are y'all doing? Oh, okay, bro.
I hated the idea, but understood we had no other option. "Hey, sorry for calling, but Mom is sick and ran out of money. We would be grateful if you came back to support us." Well, my dad might not be perfect, but he moved back in with us the same day and paid off my mom's debt. He even hired a helper for Mom. But right from the start, I wondered why she was so beautiful. My dad said she was a college student in need for money.
In need for money. How much does she need and how badly does she need it?
But why couldn't he hire an old lady with nursing experience? Well, the girl did her job and took care of my mom. But Dad constantly hit on her, and she always flirted back, even if my mom was in the same room. It must have been painful for her to see them getting along so well. But she depended on my dad, so he could do whatever he wanted.
That's so crazy.
When I got my report card, Dad took a look at it and freaked out. "Why are you such a bad student?" Huh? You've never cared about my grades before, so what's the big deal now? Oh, I'll send you to a 2-month summer camp as punishment. Ah, now it makes sense. You want me to go away?
Yo, wait, so you can smash the caretaker on the dinner table. Dad, you're a genius. Oh my, you're a genius. No.
Can get on with Mom's caretaker. Ah, now it makes sense. You want me to go away so you can get on with Mom's caretaker. You think I'm stupid? Oh, now you start lying again.
Damn.
Don't you remember where it led last time? Wow, my dad was threatening me to behave or he would leave Mom again. I can't tell you how bad summer camp was.
You
I made no
went?
friends and spent 8 weeks all by my own, reading the same book over and over again.
That sounds like what do y'all kids call it nowadays? A skill issue. The fuck?
When I got back home, Dad had some bad news for me. He said Mom had suffered a strong fever and permanently lost her vision.
What the fuck?
I immediately ran to her bed and hugged her. I couldn't understand why she was so unlucky. To make things worse, Dad told her, "I love you, and I will always make sure you're fine. But I have desires, and I'm not interested in a relationship with you anymore. I want to date other women, maybe marry a new wife." Mom was speechless and stayed quiet. Meanwhile, I screamed, "You jerk! Just because Mom is blind and depends on you, you think you can get away with anything." Life is complicated, and you're too young to understand it. I love your mom, and I'm well aware of my responsibilities. Mom had tears running down her cheeks. She said, "It's okay. Do what is best for you." And then she went back to bed, crying herself.
Insanity. You do not care about this woman, bro. She's sleeping on cinder block. You're a fucking liar.
To sleep. The next day, I walked into the kitchen. I saw my dad making out with a caretaker girl. I was shocked because she was wearing nothing but a bikini.
Hey, get the angles right real quick. Hold up. Why are the angles so bad? I feel like there could have been a better shot we could have got here. Golly, hold on.
Things got worse when Mom came to make herself breakfast. Dad and his new girlfriend continued kissing each other even though Mom was right next to them.
Isn't
she
blind?
Disgusting.
How is she making herself breakfast?
You have to move out and find a new guy. But I'm blind and always sick. No one wants me. That's not true. You just have to search. There are many guys who would love to have a compassionate wife like you. And maybe you can date a blind guy. But my mom was too afraid of change and continued her miserable life with Dad. I recently graduated college and moved out. Now my mom is all on her own.
That's it? We didn't get nothing. So what? Hey! That was kind of. I felt like I was left on a whole type of cliffhanger right here. I didn't get nothing. I'm not satisfied. That was nasty. That was a terrible ending. I felt like I just watched Naruto or some shit. Garbage ass ending.
Am I a pretty?
Triplets separated at birth.
Hey, I'm Amelia, and my parents are kinda rich. They gave me a monthly allowance of $2,000.
Damn!
And I always used to buy myself clothes. But one day, while I was on a shopping spree, my whole life turned upside down.
Okay.
I was looking for white pants, but couldn't find any. So I decided to ask one of the staff members for help. I said, "Excuse me," and the staff turned around. Oh my God. She looked exactly like me.
Aw.
I asked her, "Are we related or something?" And she started laughing and said, "Haha, wow, you really look like me." I said, "No, you look like me."
Which one looks better? Y'all messing with the dark blue or y'all messing with the light blue and pink? Which one y'all rocking with?
We both laughed and made plans to grab coffee later. We met at a Starbucks, and it was the strangest conversation of my life. Her name was Selma, and I immediately felt a strong bond between us, as if we had been best friends our entire life.
Sure, buddy.
When we found out we had the same birth date, we knew for sure that we were identical twins. Selma said, "My mom told me I had a twin who died of a lung infection at age 3.
You know, that's cool and all, but there's something more important. Yeah! She can be my waitress.
I want you jump rope and butt booty naked right in my face.
I said, "That's weird. My parents told me I was adopted as a baby. Are you adopted?" Selma said, "I don't think so, but we should go ask my mom. Maybe she can help us."
Yeah,
we drove to her mom's home, who was living in a trailer.
Your mom would definitely know if you. Oh, Lord. Your mom would definitely know if she had triplets, bro. Cause that pain probably never forget pushing all three of y'all out within the span of 5-10 minutes, bro.
She opened the door. I could smell she'd had a few drinks already.
A few.
She said, "Did I eat some mushrooms today, or are there two of you?" Selma said, Her name is Amelia, and I met her at the mall today.
Yo!
We're pretty sure we're identical twins, but maybe you can explain it to us? Her mom said, Mary? I said, no, my name is Amelia. But her mom said, no, I named you Mary. Then she gave me a hug. But I didn't like it. I could smell she hadn't taken a shower in days.
So her mom is the real mom. So the trailer park mom isn't, no, the trailer park mom is the main character's real mom, which is this girl's real, she lives with this one. Okay, I understand.
I said, are you my biological mother? And she said, yes, I am, which means you are my daughter. I know I should have felt excited to get to know her, but I really didn't. We sat down together and my biological mom told us what happened.
I see why I was taken away. That's what I would have said.
She said her boyfriend had gotten her pregnant when she was 22. And after she gave birth to triplets, he ran away.
He hit her with
and
the
because she
Scooby-Doo!
didn't have enough money to raise 3 kids, she took me to an orphanage and left me on the front door.
Damn.
He further explained that because heating was too expensive for them, my third sister suffered a lung infection and sadly passed away at age 3.
Damn!
In that moment, I realized how lucky I'd been to be adopted by my caring and loving parents.
Yeah, because this new mom, let's say you wouldn't have survived too long, because she's what we call in the streets garbage. The fuck?
My biological mom seemed troubled, to say it nicely. But I also felt guilty that I'd been so blessed while my triplet sister didn't have the same luck.
I wouldn't have felt that at all.
The following week, I invited her over to my parents' house. She was very impressed and said she had never seen such luxury.
Fucking hate rich people, bro. They have this big ass area, which would normally be anyone's living room. But guess what? It looks like their living room is this room right here. This is just open space just to show off how rich they are. Then they have these bougie ass, oh, I'm getting mad.
We also had a long conversation about our biological mom. Selma told me a few stories about her. Like one time when she pressured Selma to have a baby, she said she really wanted to have a granddaughter. But Selma was only 16. Our biological mother had serious problems, and I felt bad for Selma. That's why I offered her to live with me and my parents. I didn't expect her to say yes, but she said, oh my God, I would be so grateful.
What did the mom say?
I just can't take living with our mom anymore.
Damn.
All she does is scream at me. That's when our twin, or triplet life started, and in the beginning, it was so much fun. For a few weeks, we even dated brothers.
Do they not see how weird that is? One of y'all gets married, then their sister-in-laws and brothers-in-laws, so that means they're dating brothers-in-laws, and I don't want to think about it no more.
They weren't twins, but only 1 year apart. We sometimes switched, and it was hilarious. But having a triplet sister slowly turned into a nightmare. I went through the phone of my boyfriend, and one of the messages to his brother was, yeah, Selma has the prettier face and better body. Reading that message hurt a lot. I knew Selma hadn't done anything wrong, but it was the first time I resented her. And things got worse. When she hung out with my friends, they all treated her like they had known her for years. And they often made us stand right next to each other and said, oh, Selma's face is a bit more symmetrical. She's definitely a bit more beautiful.
That's nasty. I'm letting you know, if my friends ever did that to me,
But Selma was also funnier and more talkative than me. When she was around, my friends were always laughing and having a good time. They liked her more than me. And one time my friends watched a movie with her without inviting me.
Damn!
But nothing was worse than my parents. They treated her as if she was their daughter. They thought she was me and I was her. But we are two completely different individuals. I knew Selma wanted to replace me. And I decided I had enough.
Okay, what you do?
I told her,
what you doing?
I'm sorry, but I don't want you to live here anymore.
Okay.
She was shocked and said,
That's a nasty face.
what? Why not? And I said, I feel like you're stealing my friends, my boyfriend, and even my parents.
Damn.
She said, what? That's crazy. But I said, I don't care what you think. I don't want to see you anymore.
Oh.
It was a hard conversation, but afterward, I felt so relieved that she was gone. I mean, she still lives in the same city as me.
She had the power to kick her out that fast? Like, her parents were just okay, like, damn, okay.
I felt so relieved that she was gone. I mean, she still lives in the same city as me, And I sometimes have nightmares where I marry a guy who then leaves me for my prettier triplet sister. I know it was harsh to throw her out, but just because we share the same DNA doesn't mean I owe her anything.
Damn.
If she continued to live with my parents, I'm sure they would have given her half their inheritance, and I would have been fine with that if she hadn't tried to steal my whole life. She was a sneaky little rat. I know that because we are so similar to each other.
So you were trying to sneak her too, but she was out sneaking you? You're a dirty little bitch.